Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining this session. So next 1 hour or so, I'll kind of take you through, what does social distancing mean for us, right? We are actually going through something very, very different experience, right? I don't know, this generation. I always wonder about this generation, the last, at least the people who live, not this generation, the people who live in the last 30, 40 years, how we go through, what kind of changes we go through. We have to evidence that, right? So one is we have seen big changes in the way the industry getting transformed and so on. Now this is something completely new for us, right? This all of a sudden, human has to have a social distancing, which we never imagined in life, that we will actually go through such a thing in our life, right? So let us see how this is transforming our world, right? Is it good, is it bad, are we able to manage, right? Especially first of all, agile teams itself, the concept of whole agile itself is the teams which are co-located, working together, right? We have been preaching, I personally have been preaching that a lot. I worked so hard in the past to build teams which can see each other. People can see each other, they work together, and we got huge results also, right? So I was always of the belief that is a way to do, right? And whenever people ask me a question, hey, remote teams, will it work, right? I always used to think that it will not work. I don't think it will work, because the power of agility comes when you're co-located, right? But now we are forced to live remotely, and in remote in such a way that everybody is remote, that there are a team of 10-member team, there are 10 people from 10 remote locations, right? And a very different circumstance, right? So I'm going to share some of my experience in the last 1 or 2 months, like what I have gone through, how things have changed in my own life, and then what we did. Yeah. So, and please keep adding your comments to the panel on the site, right? So sorry. So let me also, let me also just open my chat window so that I can actually keep reading your chats. Thanks, Dheeraj. This is the real look of right. So sure. So let's look at right now. I'm not going to go through all of these. I want to go through something new today. The last one, which I added in my profile, saying I am a coach who can actually coach people who are located in 50 locations today, right? Till 2 months back, I never had this ability. I was always having ability of coaching teams. I have coached teams of like 140, 170 people, 150 people, right? Large programs. But I never had experience of coaching people from 50 locations, right? Today I'm very proud to say that I'm able to manage, somehow survive, or do that and survive, right? And remotely working, sitting at home, right? I'm sitting at home, and everybody is sitting at home, and we are able to coach. I'm able to work with them, and then they are able to plan, execute, agile and safe projects so well. Yeah. So this is one additional skill that I added for myself, right? This is I haven't even remotely, I never imagined that I will do something like that 3 months back. Yeah. So okay, so let me do this, right? Benefits of remote working. Let's start with the positive way of looking at it, right? Benefits of remote working. What do you think that there are some benefits? Are there any benefits of remote working that you have seen? We were all stunned, right? In the day that we came into this space, right? I was wondering that what's going to happen in our life, right? But things are changing. So let us look at let me quickly look at what do you think that benefits of remote working. Can you put your comments on in the chat? What are the benefits that you see, right, in remote working? Do you see any benefit? Yeah, absolutely there is. I'm seeing that more work completed often in short time. Work-life balance, okay, work-life balance by removing computation time. Okay, yeah. Our commute is reduced, stress level is less, Work-life balance more than regular time working. Yeah. So I'm seeing two conflicts. Work-life balance and somebody saying that we are actually working more. Right. So Dheeraj, you are sandwiched by two people. Yeah. Ravi and Rajeshri, that work-life balance. Yeah. Saving traveling time. Absolutely. No commuting. Yeah. Tension. Productivity has increased. Okay. Flexibility in working. Ravi, yes. Sorry, joined just now due to technical issues. No issues. So Parijat, I'm just asking a question. What have you seen as a benefit of working remotely? Is there any benefit, first of all, in remote working? Yeah. More learning. Yeah. Managing time effectively. Okay. Lots of them. Yeah. Less leaves. Okay. Cool. Yeah, actually, this is another thing that notice that I was doing a sprint planning and I realized that nobody is taking off now. Yeah, it's because people are not allowed to go out of house, right? The moment the lockdown is released, you will know about leaves. Yeah, I'm waiting to see that. Team stays well communicated. Okay, commute time more important. Okay, excellent. Okay, a lot of points. Yeah. So let me also. I think I have a subset of what you said. So I think many other points that you said. Um, these are all the 6 cities of India. Yeah. This is once upon a time we lived like this. Do you remember? Yeah, we lived like this where morning you pray your favorite god, and whatever commutation, whether it is you commute by bus or by taxi, by your own car, or even the last one it shows how Mumbai is, even with the train. Yeah, this was a crazy life that we had. Yeah, so we are actually today the roads are empty. We don't even know how the roads look today. Yeah, so this is a huge benefit for us, especially for place like cities like cities of India. It is huge. Yeah, we are saving. There are people who travel. I know friends of mine. Many friends of mine travel for 2 hours a day. Right, I travel around well, not 2 hours, 4 hours a day, and I travel around maybe maximum 2 hours a day. But that itself is stress. It's not 2 hours. It is 2 hours of stressful drive. Right, going left, right, and you see people around, and you have to make sure that you reach home safe. That's a big benefit. Yeah. Another benefit, can you see here? Now we are forced to stay with family, whether we like it or not, right? Whether we actually forced to stay with family. And my personal experience is I actually got to understand my kids much better, right? The way they act. I go in the morning, I come back in the evening, and then I get into some calls. Life goes like that. We have workshops, right? Now the last 1-2 months, I actually started realizing that there are some unique the things that my kids do which I never knew. And when I was asking my wife, and she said, "Yeah, that's how they are." And that's one thing, right? And we spend good time with kids, like with family, with the elders, with kids, with our all other family members, right? Um, Having lunch, dinner with them, right? There are times where I used to come and then I tell them you have, and then I'm on the call, and then by the time I finish, they're sleeping. Yeah, most of us would have experienced this. Yeah, and another thing that I see that people still figure out, right? We all help each other. Now there is no maid servant at home, right? Most of us don't have. We help each other, right? And we still figure out, if you see, right? We figure out there are online classes. It is yoga class, or it is a music class, it is a dance class for the family, for our own health related stuff. There are many things that got created, right? So that's a very powerful thing that you're staying with the family. Yeah. Flexibility to work. Okay, you really don't get a flexibility like this where you can sit and work like this, but imagine that you are getting this kind of a flexibility because you can choose to work whatever time you want, right? I have my time, right? I work, I wake up early. That's my habit. So I'm connected at 7:30. I'm okay with that. I do a little bit of exercise and then I start with my work, right? And then I'm fresh in the morning. Did some exercise. Took bath. I got ready. I'm at work in the morning, right? I don't have to worry about. And I can take some breaks in the middle, and then I can again continue working in the evenings, right? There is no nobody is really asking me. There's a trust, right? My manager has a trust in me, and I have a trust with people that I work with, and then it works fine. right? Surprisingly, it works fine, right? That's a beautiful thing. So if I look at it, this is something, right? The working from home was not looked very positive in the past. Like, there was always a small element of doubt that, do you think our teams can work from home? One person works from home who is not able, we're not able to reach him, we're not able to reach her, somehow there are challenges that we had in the past, even one person working from home for a day. But we still managed, we still, today, everybody is working from home. It should have been a disaster if that was true. What we assume that, the working from home is not going to work. Today, it would have been a definitely disaster. But fortunately, luckily, things turned around very positive. We are flexible. However, we are able to pick whatever time we want. Productivity has increased. This has been officially recorded in multiple organizations have called out that their organizational productivity has gone up, right? So which means I go with that, in the safe, like, there is a strong belief that, people uh, people do all the work, right? Very, very strong belief that there is all, people do their work. We as leaders have to manage them effectively, help them effectively, right? So actually the people have proven, right, proven many of us wrong, that no, we are serious, we are dedicated, we will do our job, right, in spite of these tough situations, right? And actually, if you see this picture, not everybody has this kind of actual seating arrangements, right? Most of our engineers, like, don't have this kind of a work environment where they have a proper office environment where there is a table, there is a good chair, right? It's not there. But still, with the difficulties, people are able to work, keeping the laptop somewhere, and then able to work with the low network, whatever it is, right? They're able to work, they're able to produce better, which is a very, very, very positive thing from the cultural point of view, right? Human is still good, right? We don't cheat, for such reasons. Yeah? Because of that, now we also, there's a loyalty card for employees. In fact, organizations, right? I've heard about 25-25, like how Dr. Abdul Kalam came as 2020, right? Something like that. There's organizations coming up with the 25-25. By 2025, organizations are going to go by 25% employees working from office and the rest working from home. Huge. That too, an organization that has got thousands of employees is calling out that. It's not an easy thing, right? It's not an easy thing. That means we are able to believe, we are able to do a good job sitting completely remotely. Yeah. So it's an amazing thing. Personally, I felt very good about it, that, the leadership is able to realize, and then the organization that I'm consulting, I see the leadership was very, very positive about these things. Yes, we want to support our employees. We want to see how they can work from home, and they're doing whatever possible help from their end in making this happen. Yeah, and our opinion has changed, right? Fortunately, our opinion has changed, that, people don't work from home, right? That opinion has changed, which is a big thing, right? And personally, I had an opinion that people sitting remotely working from home, agile way of working is going to be a challenge. The collaboration is going to be a problem, right? But we figured out some way. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. What are the challenges that you see in remote working? It is not that, everything is green, right? I'm not painting a picture that, wow, the life is so good, everything is green, right? So what do you think is not working? Let me look at your chat window. Ownership, responsibility, accountability are all the best. Yes. Yes. What are the things that doesn't work? Security of data. Yes. Yes, when I correct. Team collaboration, it's still having impact. Okay. Human element is missing. Absolutely. Great, Rajashri. I think it's important to think about it. Most of the time, we don't really think about that. Network issues, network problems, collaboration. What else? Lots of time on communication. Yes, absolutely. Lots of time on communication. Yeah. Team bonding. Yeah. Time on communication. A lot of time spent on calls. Yeah. Team learning. Okay. That's a challenge. You don't have that freedom now to just walk down and talk to the team, right? That freedom is lost. Internet. We were not ready for it, right? We're not ready for this real internet connection, right? Increase in planning failures. Okay. 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 You're seeing planning failures. Okay. More time on calls and chats. Disturbance from family members. Okay. Very interesting point, Harish. No AC. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's look at it. Right. So great. Thanks for great points. Right. There are a few challenges that I noticed. I think I'm aligning with most of that what you said. Right. I have personally seen in my consulting. Right. The first thing is what we lost is working together. Right. We are human. Yeah. So when we work together, we go to office, you feel that, yeah, trust me. Today I wore this shirt, I felt, wow, I'm going to office. I have my formal shirt with with the logo, because I'm in front of you. Otherwise, our clothing, right? So it's more shorts and t-shirts, and that's how we work, which is also flexibility, in what you decide what you want to wear. But now once in a while, it's good feeling also that I'm actually doing something professional. Yeah. So that working together, that professional environment is gone, right? It is and this is something that it was big, and I have seen Indian companies have transformed huge in terms of setting up the work environment, right? 20 years back, when I was 25 years back, when I started as a developer, the work environment was very, very different. Today, the working spaces, the co-working spaces, or the working space, the agile environment, right? There's so much of transformation happened. Organizations have spent tons of money on working environment, right? So this is not just like a photo. Like, I have seen a similar environment in my own offices, my consulting firms. Like, office environment looks like this, right? And that is missing today, right? We're not working together. We're not seeing each other, right? We are remote. This is a challenge. Yeah. Next is, because of that, our communication, right? I think something, you think something else, and we're not talking. I'm not able to turn around and talk to you, right? There is a communication study that was done, and the study says that your communication goes down by 80% if the person is 20 meters away, even in the same floor. So when I used to teach about agility, the teams are co-located, cross-functional, self-organized, right? There are three major aspects of team. The first one is the easiest one that I always used to tell them. Hey, out of co-located, cross-functional, and self-organized, the easiest one is co-located. You can sit together. It's easiest. Cross-functional is a little more difficult, right? I have to learn JavaScript. You have to learn Java. We both have to teach each other. A little more difficult. Self-organized is the most difficult thing, where we have to work together and collaborate and be on our own. Nobody is guiding us. We're still able to manage. Toughest thing. Yeah. So my belief was that first one was the easiest. Now that is gone. And that time I did a lot of study about communication, right? The challenges, and I read multiple articles that or multiple studies that have been done. 20 meters away, if somebody is away 20 meters from you, in the same floor, same office, same floor, still your communication to that person can go down by 80%. Yeah. So now imagine we are so far from each other, we don't even see each other. Communication has taken a hit for sure, right? This we have to accept it. Yeah. This is big change not for people like me. One interesting thing is, my kids were asking me last time, recently, they were asking me, like, are you not working? So I was telling them, no, I work. So you see them from morning till evening, I work. They said, no, you're talking, you're not working, right? So they realized that I'm not working. They felt that I'm not working. They have not realized. They felt that I'm not working. For them, work means I have to do something. Yeah. So most of our lives are like that, right? Meetings. But the challenge now is, this is the state even for the teams now. The engineers, hardcore engineers who are writing code, are also into this state now, right? Where they work, they have so many meetings. saying hi is become a meeting now, right? I have to say hi to you. I want to just ask one small question. I have to call you, and if you don't pick a call, I have to set up. I have to block some time, right? And then things like that. And there are so many meetings, meetings over meetings over meetings. Yeah, and this is a big issue for the teams, right? We probably don't realize, because many of us probably are into that space, but already for a long time. But the people who are writing code, who are designing, who are developing, the technical the technical folks who are actually doing the actual job on the floor are getting trapped into this. Yeah, this is very important to watch out. Yeah, socializing. We are actually, human is a social animal. Yeah, so you need some social life, right? The only human is the only animal which can smile, which can laugh, right? You cannot look at other animals like monkey smiling and a donkey smiling. It looks very weird, right? So they can't smile. We can smile. That's a power of human, right? We are emotional cutlets. We are emotional animals, right? We have to be we have to socialize, and that is taken a hit, right? It's not about drink, right? A drink is a good thing, right? Once in a while, but beyond that, being with our own colleagues and friends and talking something beyond our office work, having some fun, that is kind of taken a hit, right? Big hit, right? Definitely, this is another serious thing, because now the positive thing was that I spent a lot of time with my family, but now the other thing is, the more and more the lockdown gets extended, now I'm worried that I have to see only my family now. I'm sure you would have experienced it similar. Now it's too much of a family time, and then the less of your other community, right? We don't speak to probably most of our communities, right? That's a challenge. Yeah. Other classical issues that we have, that we were not prepared, right? Your internet is not clear, it's not good, no internet service, right? Your voice calls are not heard, right? It's not, your people are not able to reach you, you're not able to reach them, right? For reasons, right? There are too many people in the meetings like this, right? You can see that, you see too many heads, coming like this and then talking. And because of internet slowdown, the quality of the video calls and things like that, goes really bad. And 5 minutes meeting probably goes for 15 minutes now, because, hey, can you repeat? I didn't hear what you said, right? And 5 people talking at the same time. Right? In this kind of environment, when there are 15 people in the call, at the same time, if they say, hey, did you understand one question? And some people say yes, some people say no, some people, we don't know. What does it mean? So now there is a fundamental issues in basic meetings, right? We are not able to manage it. In a physical meeting, we don't have these problems. Now we have these challenges, right? Because we're not equipped, we're not ready, right? This is, I'm sure those who have kids would have experienced this. If you have not experienced, that means you are too much inside your room. Come out of your room. Have you experienced this? Something like this? I just told my kids that, please 1 hour leave me here. Yeah, I'll come back in 1 hour and then we'll play cricket. Now that's a life, right? What have you experienced? Have you experienced something similar? Yeah, I'm sure you would have experienced, right? So, like, kids want to listen to what is it you are putting in their head, and can I listen to you, right? And then kids want to eat next to you, and they're close to you. My son always comes next to me and sees what I'm doing, right? And he wants to be next to me. Like it's just they have no idea what am I doing, why I'm sitting in front of a laptop for morning till evening, right? So this is definitely a challenge, right? This is what I saw. Like, family is disturbing. On the other way to look at it is, actually they have put up with you, right? I think it is Harish who said that, right? I look at it also in another way, that somehow the family is also put up with us managing our situation. I'm there at home, but I'm not there at home, right? It's kind of a situation where, because I get inside a room and then I tell them, don't make noise, don't talk, all these. Yeah. Okay, this is another big problem. This we start, we stop differentiating our work and life now. Yeah, at least we had some life called, okay, morning I get ready, go to office, I come back, I have some life for myself. Yeah, some weekend we had, things like that. Right now, the work and life got mixed up so much. Our productivity went up, which is a good thing, right? And ethical standards are very high, which people are able to see, which is a very good thing. But on the other hand, We also have problems like this, right? We are too much. We don't know how many hours we are connected. We are not connected. The day starts so early. I said, I start my day at like 7:38 in the morning, and then it goes like that. It goes. If I don't have a session like this, probably I'm connected with my official laptop. I'm actually doing some work, right? That's how the life is. Like, things change so much, right? So this is another definitely a serious problem. Yeah. So how can we manage? Let's quickly look at it. Like, how can we manage, right? First is retrospect that, right? Instead of just jumping into decisions saying that we should do this, we should do that. Like, there are 100 suggestions we have. Ask people, right? I have done at least a couple of lockdown retrospectives with my teams. Asking them what is going on in your life. Right. So one of the retrospectives, I'll tell you my experience, and that's where I realized that this is important to retrospect. In one of the retrospectives, I heard teams saying that what's going well, what's not going well. One point came about too long meetings. Right. So I asked, this one of the team members said this. So I asked her, what do you mean by it? Right? This is the same thing that you have, right? How come you're feeling that now it is too long? It was not the case in the past. And she said, no, like, our stand-ups go for 30 to 40 minutes now. And number two is, like, there are too many meetings now, and so on. And other people actually kind of stopped her, saying that, hey, hold on, that's a way of life now. We cannot avoid, right? People stopped her. And she also said the same thing. Yeah, I think, what to do? But you just asked me, so I said it. Yeah. Then I felt, then a Scrum Master and I had a discussion, right? Hey, looks like there is a problem. Why don't we run a retrospective on lockdown itself, right? What does lockdown mean? What does the social distancing mean for us? How is it going, right? Let's identify some good and bad things of this, and then see what actions can be taken. So we set up a 1-hour meeting only separately with this team. And then experience that I had was, I asked the team to start with, if there are any good things, talk about, the lockdown. So all that what you said, it came out in the meeting, right? People said, yeah, this is good. There's some good things are there. We are still able to manage. We're able to accomplish all that we committed. Everything went very well. Yeah. But the challenge was that when we started talking about the challenges that they have in life, then they said, the work and life has got messed up too much, right? There are too many things. One person said, I have to cook and I have to take care of my kids, but also I have to work, right? It is very difficult. In the past, it was like my mind was very clearly said that I'm in the office, so somebody will take care of the kids at home. But now I'm a mother, I have to do that. So women actually has more, in fact, right, than men. I know I'm not underestimating men. I know that in my own working community, that many men are actually helping women. For sure, cleaning up the the what do you say, the space, or the vessels and so on, right? A lot of help done, but there is a challenge, right? Your professional and personal life got messed up, right? Mixed up so much that it's difficult, and there are too many meetings, and it's not about too many meetings. It is also about too many distracted meetings. Like, from morning till evening, I have meeting every 1.5 hours. I have a meeting. So I start writing a code. This did not come up so visible in the first meeting. When I gave that space to them, come up with all the points you have about this, right? Everything that you are suffering with, right? Write down. If it's possible that none of these we can fix it, right? We set that expectation very clear. It's possible that none of this we can fix it, but we want to at least hear from you. If we can fix some of these, we'll fix it for you, right? Let us see what. And team started saying that, and one person said this, we have many meetings. It starts from morning all the way going till evening, so I'm not able to actually focus on my work. And everybody agreed for it, right? Then I asked them, what can you do, right? There are a few things that is in your control, and what can you do? And in this discussion, team actually felt that they themselves suggested that hey, why don't we have non-working hours every day, right? So they actually came up with a very cool idea of, we'll do all the meetings in the morning. Post lunch, no meetings, unless otherwise it's very critical that you have to call me. You call me, otherwise you're not calling me, right? And we believe each other, right? Post lunch you will work. So and then we said, okay, that, and the whole team agreed for it. And what more can be done, right? Best thing, and all the meetings got scheduled, right? And then they further went ahead saying that let us try, maybe next sprint we'll also try no meeting day except for a daily scrum. Every other meeting will be pushed to either the previous day or the next day, no meeting day, right? And all these, suggestions came, and they said, what, one person said, I'm missing my friend, and the friend is also on the call, and they started laughing at each other, right? And then, I'm missing my friend because I used to go, for a coffee with him to my cafeteria. Today I don't even talk. So now we created, a meeting called Coffee Talk. Yeah. So Coffee Talk is where, pick a cup of coffee, sit in front of it, open a video conferencing, let's talk, right? It's such a, and purposefully, it's only team meeting. Yeah. You guys have fun as if you are having a coffee talk. One is the team level coffee talk, you do it. Second is, do it if you want to have one-on-one, maybe 2-3 friends you want to have fun, have it separately, right? Create a structure like that. And the team felt initially saying that, okay, half an hour, let's do it. And then that first meeting, I didn't go there for it purposely because I didn't want to attend that. They're friends. And then after that, Scrum Master told me that it went for 1.5 hours, right? And I asked him how was the outcome. It was like, he said like it was superb, right? They just enjoyed, and they decided to introduce their families. Now they don't know only their friends; they also know the families because the people stand behind them, and they all said hi to each other. It was a fantastic thing, right? So the team did. See, the first value of Agile, why I'm talking all these, the first value of Agile is individuals and interaction over process and tools. It's not working software. It is not customer collaboration. It is not responding to change. It is individuals and interaction. They're humans, right? Address the human problem, human aspects of it. When we started addressing it, right, and end of the retrospective, people said, wow, I think I'll enjoy my working from home because, I thought it's very painful. Now we are able to figure out most of the problems were fixed by them. There are few problems like my internet is slow and things like that. We said, okay, we'll take it to the leadership and see if we can get some support for it, right? Things like that. Otherwise, many ground level issues team are able to fix it, and they did it, right? So I suggest that do this lockdown retrospective, right, or social distancing retrospective. Do it with the team. I'm sure they will find out, right, very good solutions for themselves. There are problems that comes up visible. If you need to fix it, I think you and I need to fix it as leaders, right? We cannot just put everything on them, but they will still figure out something. Yeah. So I did this in at least, after that, I did it at least 2-3 times with multiple teams in multiple groups. And every time I did it, I think I felt it like, good. People are able to figure out. Yeah. And actually it has improved collaboration. So make working agreements, right? One of the things that we decided was that in that retrospective was that, hey, somebody starts at 7 and then it says that after 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock not available, right? Or after 6 they are connected back. But I cannot be like that, right? I have to take care of my family, right? I cannot be like that, but I'm not able to reach out people. I said, okay, what are the basic things that you want to make working? 4 or 5 things, maximum 4 or 5 things that are paying for you in lockdown retrospective. Come up with a working agreement. The team agreed that 10 to 3 everybody will be connected for sure, right? Something like that. Yeah. So all the meetings in the first half, for example. Yeah, good. And so things like that. Make a working agreements on the pain points, right? That will help. If you're a scrum master, if you're a leader, make sure that you facilitate this meeting with the team, so that team comes together with a working agreement. Like you and I are not going to suggest, but the team will figure out. But I will facilitate for me. Right? Hey, what do you think will work for you? Right? Ask them a few questions. They will figure out. They are mature. Yeah. So come up with a real good working agreements. Right. I said a couple of working agreements. Right. With you. There is one person who was not responding. See, there are people. Most of the people are good. Right. They're matured. But there are also people who take advantage in this situation. Right. You cannot avoid. Right. So how do you manage the situation? Now make a working agreement with them, right? Talk to them one-on-one. Hey, looks like we are trying to reach out to you, but you're not picking the call. You're not responding to mails. There is something wrong. What's going on? Like, can you help? Do you need any help from us, or is it something that we need to fix it? Right? Address, right? One-on-one, you address it. May not be in front of everybody. At least one-on-one, and make an overall agreement as a team, so that that helps, right? So, because of 1 or 2 people, your whole team should not suffer. Right, the team, mature team should be able to make their agreement and move on, right? But 1 or 2 people who are messing up, I think you have to deal with them separately, right? Okay, so meeting etiquettes, right? There are many meetings we do. I think this is very important to manage it. Few things I already said it. Like this is my experience. I think you please share in the chat also what else you have done it, so that I can also learn from you all, and then I can go back to my consulting, and communicate and help my teams do better. These are the few things I have seen. One is wherever the meeting was scheduled ahead, right? And it was scheduled ahead and communicated that, guys, you have to be on time, and it worked. And time box the meetings, right? It is very easy that meetings can go long now, right? Make sure that it is time box. Video calls, right? It's I have seen it many calls that I do one-on-one, I get into video calls, right? I have no problem, because it's good for my colleagues to see me, right? There's nothing to hide, right? So I get into video calls, right? And the team meetings, try to do video calls, right? And it's good. And said that, communicate it much early. Don't say at the time of a meeting, say that, okay, like, guys, can you all come into video call? It'll not work, because you don't know what state people are in, right? So tell them that, hey, tomorrow's meeting is going to be video call. Are you all okay with that, right? And then, so at least time people have time to get ready, right? And I have seen surprising, right? My manager was with full of beard, and it was surprised to. I didn't expect him to be like that. He was always clean shaved, and his look was very different. It was fun to look at something, and many people have shaved their head, and it was fun. Please wear a headset, right? Because you're not the only one at home, right? There are people around, right? They have to listen to your call and respond, right? So good to wear a headset, or lock down yourself, put inside yourself in a room, so that people are not disturbed, right? Unmute only when you talk, right? This is a basic thing, right? You have to maybe educate your teams also that don't keep it, because there are a lot of noises. Not everybody's houses are like fully soundproof houses, right? We are on the road, maybe very close to the main road, and there are a lot of vehicles moving around. Noise. Yeah? Combined meetings, as I said, not non-working hours, non-meeting hours is very, very important, right? That will actually give some good time for the team, right? Producing 5 distractions a day is equal to 0 productivity. This is another thing which is proven. Human cannot switch context. Context switching 5 times a day is equal to 0 productivity. Now we are bound to have much more than 5 distractions. People have actually measured. There are studies says on an average we have 11 meetings today, right? Human have 11 meetings, and it varies based on the seniority. The more senior, the more meetings. There's less senior, maybe less meetings. The juniors are having less meeting, but minimum 5-6 meetings a day. This is too much, right? So keep all of this together, especially for people who are actually on the floor writing code, right? Bring the personal meetings, right? That's another thing, right? And that's another thing, right? Personal meetings. And we also I've seen teams doing something like having some fun activities in the team, right? When I say fun activities, I've seen people doing it like okay, let's have a photo contest, right? Figure out who's this person in our team, and show a 3-year-old boy and say that, find out who's this. It was actually fun for 45 minutes. I actually had a lot of fun with my teams. Oh, this is how you looked like 20 years back. I didn't know, right? Or 40 years back you were looking like this, right? Just bring some personal, the human element of it. Right? Okay, so now let me move on to the scaling part, right? This was actually a nightmare for me, right? I actually, when I started with the program, one program in my consulting for safe transformation around December, Jan time frame, and we want to do it in beginning of April, and for some reasons, it got postponed to May. The challenge was that entire art launch readiness, the whole readiness of art launch, right from educating our leaders to the product manager, product owners, scrum masters, all of this, right? Bringing the backlog to with the features, visioning, road mapping, all this, right, had to be done remote, right? I was actually nervous that not nervous. I was actually kind of sure that it's not going to work, because it's how do I work with 50-60 people who are remote, right? I have no idea. I've never done it, right? But fortunately, we did a fantastic planning last week, right? It is just not even a week that, last Monday, Tuesday, we had a planning in our organization. Amazing planning we did, right? It is, thanks to all the people who put their best efforts, right? And it worked really well for us, right? How did we manage? We started, really started looking at, what challenges we have because we are remote. 50 people sitting remote. In fact, it was from 4 locations. I always used to think that, oh, there are 4 locations, and one team was shared between 2 locations, right? One or two teams were shared between 2-3 locations. And I was telling the RTE saying that, hey, it's not going to work, because, why you have a team with two locations in the beginning, in Jan. And during a planning, we were 50-60 locations remotely sitting and doing a planning, right? That was a what is a transformational experience, right? So what we did was, we started with the training. So if you see this, right, there are a few photos that my colleagues shared with me, but actually we did a training which is like I personally did. That is my living room. Yeah, I conducted a training sitting remotely from through in my house, and 40 people, 50 people sitting in their remote, and then we did a agile workshop. We did a safe workshops, right? The multiple workshops that I did, and it actually people understood well, right? And I am like how I am seeing you, exactly that's how I am seeing. I was looking at them. What was it? It was my laptop, right? I was not looking at anybody because I'm actually talking like how I'm talking now, right? And then we did a workshop, and it actually worked very well, right? So can you see my wall, right? So my kids know what is system team now. They know what is a system demo. They keep talking to me. What is he's saying that, are you doing system demo? When I go for a meeting, right? It's like maybe I took too much of advantage of my family, but actually we figured out, right? This was never in my dream that I will do like this, but we could do this, right? We did a workshop like this, and then people learned safe sitting remote, and then we actually did a wonderful planning. Our planning was literally like this. Can you see? Okay, this is not actually our planning meeting. I just took a photo from remote. I didn't want to share the official photo. I just took it from on the net. Like our planning was like this. There are 50, 60 people sitting remotely and doing a planning, including leadership all the way till the junior most engineer. Yeah? So we were all sitting, but trust me, we did. Actually, I was into the two different plannings in the last 2 months. One was this completely new team, which was much more scary for me because I have to train, I have to educate them, I have to make sure that they're ready for a first PA planning. In fact, some of the teams were also new to Agile, right? But we were able to do it, teaching them what is user story, what is Scrum means, what does sprint mean, Scrum events we have. All of these were taught remotely, and then they understood. We ran one or two iterations, and then we got into PA planning. PA planning went so well, right? So what we did is we used a software called, there's a lot of online software that exist. Like one of this was like called concept board that we used, and this is how it looks. This is like you can see this the PA planning program. The planning program outcome came out here. There's actually a sample data, right? But there's a program outcome. Before the planning, we actually created one like this, and then we did it. And then actually we created in real life, we did it like this. Yeah. Program backlogs. You can see that the program level backlog, program board, program risk, PA objectives, right? All of these were created. The team spaces were created in the same board. Everybody can see this. Yeah. I just need to move from here to here to see how this team is planning. It's as if the physical board, we are all doing a big room planning and we can see everybody's. Yeah. And then team spaces, and then this all we had in team spaces, like team level backlogs, iterations. So there are 1, 2, 3 iterations. There's a IP iteration, assumptions, their capacity planning, their team level risks, team PI objectives. All these were kept. Yeah, we tracked 2-day PI planning completely in 2-day agenda setup. Right, so people know exactly where we are, how much is going to change. Like it's updated here on like every 15-20 minutes we keep updating here. So it went so well. Yeah, so everybody was able to know. So we also had some guidelines like, hey, look at user story definition of ready, definition of done, feature level DOD DOR, right? And a Scrum checklist. We had actually a Scrum Masters checklist. This is a typical PA planning checklist, right? So we use that very well. And working agreements, right? And for teams, for Scrum Masters, because we had to come up with specific working agreements working in remote in the PA planning. In a PA planning, leaders, please don't wait for the teams to come to you. Please, every half an hour, go to their respective rooms, right? We kind of created respective rooms for them where they will log in. The whole team that respective team will be logged in and they'll be doing it. Yeah. So each room actually had, every leader had access to each room, and then they can actually log in and check, right? So such guidelines, very clear guidelines. Yeah. And the entire program structure, the contact details, and all these were published here, so that people can call each other if they want. So it went so well that at the end of the day, like after 2 days, I actually started believing that yes, remotely we can do execution, PA planning and execution. And then we are now in the PA execution. Everything, all the events are remote, right? Including the team level events, right? Daily skills, right from planning, daily scrum, iteration review, retrospective. All of these are remote. And Scrum of Scrum, PO Sync, system demo is already planned. Right now, we already started with the preparation for the next PI. Right, we are thinking of how to do with IND, and IP iteration. How do we do innovation remotely? Right, there's a three iterations from now. We are getting into IP iteration. Right, so how do we do that? Right, and there are a lot of good ideas that I heard, from people, and then I'm sure the way it goes, it actually, I feel definitely it will go very well. Yeah, so it's a beautiful experience that I have gone through. This is not easy, right? Trust me, it is not just like that we did it. The teams that actually working on this program did a fantastic job of getting ready. They did so much of homework. I just had to tell them that, why don't you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and they did it very well, right? And that's the highest level of, like, I saw that, the ownership culture, right? The teams were so ownership. Some of the leaders, like, the Scrum Masters, product owners, were so good in making it happen, right? So, and we are in our journey that I'm very sure our first PI will go very good. It's a first PI. It's not a, see, fifth PI, seventh PI is still okay. First PI was not easy, right? So we still did it. Yeah, it works very beautifully, right? If you are planning for a first, PI, and then, if you need to, if you have any specific questions you want to reach out to me, please reach out to me one-on-one. We can actually talk, later, so I can really share a lot more experience, right? There are a lot of tools at your service, right? Make use of all that, right? For example, Scrum board, right? Be very innovative. Your Scrum board, your program board, right? When I say program board, the program Kanban, right from the backlog coming in from customer, and all the way it gets delivered to customer. Use online, right? It's very powerful, right? And your code quality tools, like, Sonar and, Sonar Cube and things like that, right? Use it effectively. I see that all these tools are being much more effective now. For example, Jira is updated much more diligently, which was never the case in the past. I'm sure you would have experienced in the past that, hey, our boards are not updated, right? But now those problems are kind of going away now, right? Because people realize that that's very important, right? Make use of the tools effectively, like, or any other dashboards that you have. You have built dashboards, right? Which shows the metrics, like, the program level metrics, the team level metrics, portfolio metrics, all this. Make use of these dashboards very effectively. There are many dashboards, many tools that are available. Yeah. Software, like, the collaboration software, right? Make use of it. Like, for example, in my consulting firm, the Microsoft Teams is a tool that we use it. I never knew this tool is so powerful, right? It is such a good tool that we are able to so effectively use it, right? And, there are a lot of, go learn about these tools, right? What are the power of these tools? There's many softwares like this, are like Slack, Circuit, the video conferencing tools like, Cisco WebEx, Join Me, or these are all the tools. There are also tools like idea boards, right? Idea boards are very powerful tools for actually generating idea remotely, right? And you can actually online, you can see ideas getting generated, right? It just populates as if you have written a post-it and dropped it, right? It's a fantastic tool. Concept board, right? I personally use this tool. I was not a big fan of this all this while, but now I started learning more about it, because it has so many. These tools have so many features that we don't know, which is of very, very helpful at this time now. Yeah, so definitely you should look at these tools, right? Spend some time, enable your teams to spend some time on learning these tools. Yeah. Okay, how do we create a program board? Yeah, so Rajshi, I can remotely tell you later, but it is actually very powerful, right? A concept board. This is a concept board. This is a concept board, nothing else. Yeah, it's created by us. We have to sit and design. We need somebody to learn concept board. Once you learn concept board, you will be able to do it very well. Yeah? In fact, concept board, now I learned that there are much more features that this tool has. Yeah, the retrospectives are effective, right? Use a retrospective tool. That's another thing that there are a lot of online retrospective tools, right? Which you can use it, right? And then the innovative facilitation is very, very important in this world, right? Because same kind of questions being asked. Hey, how did your iteration go well? What went well? What did not go well? People get bored, right? Create something very nice, interesting stuff. There are a lot of online stuff that is available that you can actually make use of it, right? Online retrospective, or use tools like this, right? This kind of tools to create effective retrospectives. Right? You can actually create some fun games here to have a retrospective, right? The tools are supporting, right? And all the retrospective techniques you can actually pretty much use, right? Most of the retrospective techniques are, which we use in our real life, right? With the physical board, right? Drawing and things like that, right? You can actually use it in the concept board. I have seen some of my Scrum Masters being very creative in such things. Yesterday, not yesterday, 2 days back, I had a call with my Scrum Masters, in one of the programs, and I asked them, you tell me what are you doing. I'm not going to suggest you, right? All the Scrum Masters came together and discussed, hey, this is about the same, how are you managing our lockdown, right? And facilitation. What are the few things you are doing great, right? You talk about it. And most of the meeting, I was silent. It was so good to hear that, some of the people that I thought they may not do so much, actually they did a lot of things. They did a good research and they came up with a lot of, they're already implementing very good, features in the retrospective, in, making people talk, right? They figured out a lot of good things. And, so ask them to figure out, they will figure out, right? And also spend some time on making it more effective in your, online, meetings, especially definitely planning and retrospective. They are the two key things, right? Planning, retrospective. If you do it very well, actually your rest of the things will get fixed, right? Your daily Scrum and all of this, right? It's a normal meetings which you can actually, if you follow meeting etiquettes, you'll be able to do it well. Okay, let me just end with one message, right? The work-life balance is something that we have to take care, right? This is something that there is no such a tool that will tell us what is work-life balance, right? How do you manage work-life balance, right? There is no such thing as work-life balance. It is all life. That is also life. This is also life. The balance has to be made within us. While I'm saying, I have not learned it till now, right? Meaning that I'm also struggling here, right? We're all on the call 8:30 now. Yeah, we're all on the call sitting here, and I was doing a lot of work today, and then just got into this call, and then we're doing it. However, this is very, very important. The way you manage your time, fixing times. It's going to be, this lockdown is not going to be temporary, right? Trust me, it's not going to get solved so fast. It's going to, by the time they figure out the medicine and things like that, our life is going to change. Organizations are going to change to this more working from home because there is no choice now. Yeah, it's going to continue at least for 6 months, and it will become way of life for us. If we don't figure out the right way to live, we are going to suffer a lot in especially this balancing stuff, right? So make sure that come up with certain discipline on this, right? It is very important, like your seating posture, like or your work timings, or the meetings that the number of hours that you are taking to the meetings, right? The 2 days of PA planning that I did, it was pretty much 12 hours of a day, right, for us. Right? I was on the call constantly on the headphone. After in the night time, when I removed it, I could hear some sound, constant sound, right? It was not good, right? But I was on one hand, I was very happy that planning went so well. On the other hand, I told my wife, there is something I'm hearing, right? And I've never experienced like that in the past. So we have to take care of it. It was just for 2 days, but still we are on the call for long hours, right? At least some 5, 6, 8 hours, right? In the long run, it's going to affect us. So come up with something that you can manage it well. Yeah. Okay. With that, any questions?